everybody, and welcome to episode 4 of the InCntrl podcast. I'm your host, as usual, Ole, and joining me as well, as always, is my buddy PK. PK, what's going on? How you doing?
Hey guys, hi Ole. It's been 1 week since our last release. It's been a while.
It's usually a week is how we roll in between these episodes. So.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm happy to be here.
Me too, man. It's good to see you again. It's good to be back once again. Thank you guys so much for tuning into InCntrl. We really appreciate the love you guys have given us over the first few episodes. Fully appreciate your feedback. A couple of you have been getting in, telling us areas we can improve the podcast in terms of lighting, in terms of sound, and trust me, we're always listening, we're always taking that back on. But I just want to say, because this is episode 4, it's not like a big milestone or anything.
No, it's not huge,
but the response has been pretty good. So
I enjoyed the comments.
That's been happening so far.
The thing about whenever you're recording a podcast, I enjoy the feedback from everybody else.
Yeah, that's the best part.
So when you guys are communicating to us and you're telling us what we're doing right and what we're doing wrong, for us it's always going to be a positive. So I'm enjoying like everybody who watches us religiously week in, week out, and for everybody who's just tuning in for the first time or simply the second time, we just appreciate it nonetheless. And that's what we're here for. We're here to entertain you.
Yeah, we're here to give you guys the latest gaming news and gaming opinion coming straight from two chuckleheads like us. Thank you so much for tuning in. So please always follow Patrick on Twitter, Pato_Kafu. Follow me on Twitter, Ole_Gunner. Best place to hit us up on. Give us a follow. Drop us a few questions there. I know some of you have gotten in contact with me through DMs.
Always have an answer. Always have an answer.
Yes, exactly. You have an answer for everything, Patrick. So thank you so much, guys, for like tuning in and everything. But anyway, enough of that. All of that talk. We know why you're here. You want to get straight into the meaty,
the video game
news. So that's always our first section. We're gonna go straight into the news. And a news topic one that we have today is something that's pretty interesting because it merges a couple of video game worlds that we've loved together. So our first piece of news is that there is a pretty interesting looking Red Dead Redemption mod coming to Grand Theft Auto 5. So this is going to bring the landscapes, all the assets. There's a bunch of dedicated modders. I'm so sorry I don't have their name right in front of me, but a bunch of dedicated modders who want to bring the world of Red Dead Redemption across to GTA 5 on
Let's
PC.
even talk about Red Dead Redemption as a whole.
Yeah, okay.
Like in terms of just PlayStation 3 when Red Dead Redemption came out. This was a cowboy game that came up by Rockstar, and we were totally immense. Like I
don't think anybody expected it to be that good.
I didn't expect it to be that good.
The pedigree is there with Rockstar. The level of polish is there with Rockstar, but I don't think people are expecting it to be that good of a game, and that's what we got.
Not only that, the gameplay itself, because personally, when I heard that Rockstar were producing a cowboy game, I was kind of skeptical about the whole situation because I didn't know how they would carry it out, and I didn't know how the gameplay would come out, and would I enjoy the environment?
Yeah.
Am I going to be riding around on horses that just feel static? I felt like I was going to be given a world that
they mocapped horses for that game. I mean, I don't even know how they made that work.
It felt absolutely brilliant, and it became one of my top 5 games on PlayStation 3 simply because of the environment and how you could interact with NPCs, the side missions, and the way it looked when the sun is setting. And it became the best cowboy video game of all time.
It's very few comparisons, so it easily shoots up to the top.
Exactly.
You know?
So when I hear that they are putting Red Dead Redemption into the Grand Theft Auto 5 engine, and Grand Theft Auto 5, let's not even lie to ourselves, looked absolutely fantastic.
Still does,
and I think it's gonna look really good.
Hopefully we have there's a couple images that are out there for. So it's a group of modders that have been working on this for 2 years, and they hope to have a playable beta for the game in the summer. This is it's being led by a programmer called Mr. Leisureware. I'm pretty sure that's his online name. I don't think that's his real name because
Leisureware.
Come on.
Yeah.
You're too much of a pimp if you have that name in real life. So he's reverse engineered much of Red Dead's map into a workable state, and he's got a team of coders that are helping him work on map editing.
I wish I had a name like Leisureware. We've got really long names.
Kafumu Tache versus Leisureware. Yes, I would take Leisureware. So they've done a lot of work on like the editing, the visuals, the textures, the day-night cycle. I know both me and you don't have pretty powerful PCs. On top of that, I know me and you are waiting for more for Red Dead 2. But I think it's pretty cool that like there's people who are really in the PC space who are really dedicated. Even though Red Dead was never on PC officially, it's really cool to see them trying to like look at Red Dead as a game on Xbox 360 and PS3 and try and transfer that as a whole game onto GTA 5, and I think it just shows the enduring aspects of both of those games. They've had very long legs, both Red Dead and GTA 5, especially GTA 5.
Exactly.
But it's really cool to see because Red Dead, like you said, is one of the best games.
It brings that feeling of longevity, saying that we created a game that was made a long time ago, and we can still extend it to fans who still believe in the game and they love the game nonetheless. I mean, looking at it as an example to say Skyrim and other RPGs, you're talking about games that were released maybe 5 years ago, or let's even say 7 to 10 years ago.
More,
and these games are still loved by people, and they can still be modified by PC gamers. So Red Dead Redemption coming out, I mean, it's mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing if you know that you can play a game that you loved a long time ago, talking about 5 to 10 years a while back, and it'll still look absolutely fantastic comparing it to 2016, 2017 games. So I'm looking forward to it. Red Dead Redemption on a GTA 5 engine is going to look absolutely fantastic.
Personally, for me, my thing is I think it's cool. I to a certain extent, I could give less of a fuck because I'm going to be playing Red Dead 2 on PS4
for Red Dead 2.
I don't think it's coming out in November, but I'm going to be playing Red Dead 2 in a few months, so I'm graduating already to that version. But it's cool to see like the enthusiasm, the creativity that's still enduring from a game that came out on PS3 and being carried through for PC players. Good for you, PC players. If you're a PC only player, this is your best bet to play Red Dead.
You want to see Mrs. McFarlane. You want to see Mrs. McFarlane.
Yeah, exactly. You want to see Mrs. McFarlane. You didn't get Red Dead 1 on PC. You're not getting Red Dead 2 as far as we know on PC. So if you're a PC player, I mean, it's a cool way to like look at that 4K textures, all that kind of thing. So I mean, it's kind of nice, and I love the creativity aspect of it. You know.
Yeah, it's gonna look really good.
It's gonna look really cool.
And the combat aspect of Red Dead Redemption, like nonetheless, was really good. I mean, I know it was made like a long time ago, but as in gunfights in Red Dead Redemption, I really looked forward to them. The cover, the type of guns that you're using, the type of revolvers that you're using, the rifles. I mean, look, I am gonna enjoy it. I'm probably gonna get it, and it's gonna prepare me for Red Dead 2.
It's gonna prepare you for
It's gonna prepare me for Red Dead 2. It's the only cowboy game worth talking about.
Pretty much, we don't get much else anyway. So anyway, so that's the Red Dead mod news. All you PC users out there should probably take a look at this, and you might be interested in playing this sometime in the summer. So moving along from that news story, we have rumors of a Super Nintendo Entertainment System, one of my favorite systems of all time, is being remanufactured by Nintendo for release sometime during Christmas of 2017. Now, of course, we got the Nintendo Entertainment System, the NES. We got that last year. Nintendo released that.
Didn't own one personally.
You couldn't get one because they didn't make any. I mean, not make any, but they didn't make enough. So we got the Nintendo Entertainment System. We got about, it was preloaded with about 60, 70 games. About 60 or 70, 60 games. Preloaded in. You could buy the console for itself for about $60. We're assuming it's going to be something similar with the SNES Mini, but this is a report coming from Eurogamer, by the way, who are always really good with this insider knowledge. and they're talking about that coming sometime during Christmas. Now, the SNES Mini is more of a system that's close to our hearts because that's more in the age range that we're talking about with us specifically.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, what's your thoughts? Like, what are you thinking, man?
I am totally ecstatic about.
Me too.
I cannot believe it because at the time that the SNES came out, it came out in 1990. Was it 90 or 91?
90, somewhere there, yeah.
And I owned a SNES, and I had Super Mario World. I had.
That's my first ever console.
I had Killer Instinct. All these games were like put on my shoulders, and as a child I had no idea, like, oh my god, I've got so much shit to play right now. I had Super Mario World, I had Killer Instinct, and I had Donkey Kong, exactly.
Star Fox.
I spent so much time in there.
They've got a really good backlog of games.
They do.
They could preload onto that SNES system. You know, they've got a lot of good games.
I think it's gonna sell out as much as the NES.
Oh yeah,
it's gonna sell out. You're gonna have to
$100%.
You're gonna have to pre-order it. You're gonna have to pre-order it, and I really hope that they have enough, because I don't like the idea of releasing content this good that so many people want and it's limited. I don't understand it, because what are you giving us now? Are you trying to limit your sales? Are you...
Well, I mean, the long-standing rumor with Nintendo is they always like to adopt this artificial scarcity kind of thing, you know, where they famously did this with the Wii, where they, you know, the Wii was in very high demand, and they were thinking to themselves like, hey, you know, if we just keep manufacturing below a certain level, people can't get them, and that generates even more hype and raises demand. But what you're doing, in my idea, is all you're doing is raising scalpers' prices. You're raising the prices for people who sell the console secondhand on eBay and that kind of thing.
How many of us 90s gamers are there? There are a lot.
There are a lot. That's why I'm saying they should really go to their manufacturing sources and just make sure you make the right demand for this. Because the SNES Mini ushered in, to a certain extent, it ushered in home entertainment video game systems. Where it's like, okay, you don't have to bother with the arcade anymore. You can genuinely have an arcade experience at home, and people form strong nostalgic attachments to those kind of experiences. So it's that kind of thing. Like, I mean, people who, me and you, for example, don't even who we talk to, but who aren't up to date in what's happening in the world of video games, will definitely hear about something like this and think to themselves, hey, I remember playing SNES when I was 12.
You remember playing Street Fighter, you remember
like
playing
11, 10 years old.
Zelda.
Exactly, you remember playing the first Killer Instinct. You remember playing Super Mario Kart. You remember playing Super Mario World, the greatest game of all time. You remember playing all those kind of experiences. So I would really think Nintendo would take that responsibility on their shoulders and think, look, you know what?
Give us enough.
Yeah,
Give
exactly.
us enough consoles.
Put it out there. Make the right production to satisfy demand, and on top of that, I feel what's even more important is put the right software on it. You know the software people like. I mean, it's been like over 91. This means over 20 years. You know the software people like. Put it on there, and I won't have a problem with it. I'm gonna hit that pre-order button on Amazon faster than anyone else.
Exactly.
You know?
I just don't like the idea of you releasing a console that everybody loves. Everybody loves in the 90s, and whether or not you were playing video games in the 90s or not, you're still going to want to play retro games. If you're giving me an option to say you're either going to have to pre-order this console, or you're going to slave for it, or wait.
Or punch someone in the face in Walmart.
I don't want that.
Punch someone in the face in what's the equivalent we have? I don't even know.
Game?
Yeah,
Game.
Punch someone in the face in game, because it's like literally one SNES console hanging on the shelf. You don't want that to happen.
You're going to find someone running to the bus stop at
You
game
know what I'm
and manager like, I got my SNES.
Like, listen,
like, no.
As an older person, if I had kids, and because I want to pass on my gaming experience, the really good gaming experiences I had as a kid. I want to pass them on, like, for example, to my younger children. trust me, I'm gonna punch someone in the face for that last standing SNES.
One time. For killing instincts? For killing instincts, I'll beat your ass.
For Mario World?
I'll beat you.
Mate, I'm gonna put a boot up your ass if that helps.
Give us enough consoles.
Yeah, so just manufacture enough, put good software on it, and I think it's gonna happen. But anyway, it's really cool. I think we can both agree that that we're gonna get the SNES, Super Nintendo.
For all you guys for everybody who played the Super Nintendo Entertainment System in the 1990s, you're gonna want to get this. And I just pray to God that Nintendo release enough consoles for everybody to have them and not fight in the queue for them.
We need to wait and see. So I think that's it at the end of the day. We're just gonna have to wait and see. Let them announce it officially, and then we can come back in with our comments.
And we're even sticking with the Nintendo topic because we're even going to talk about Mario Kart.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens with that, and then once we know the news and maybe we have an idea of how much they're gonna manufacture, then we can tell you guys how many hobos PK is gonna punch in the face to get to a
lot.
Moving along, tying into that beautifully is we've got Mario Kart 8 coming out for the Switch at the end of. Do you know the release date for that? Is it end of April?
28th of April.
So we've got Mario Kart. Mario Kart. We got Mario Kart 8 coming out for the Nintendo Switch. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which obviously includes all the
Nintendo
DLC.
Switch has brought a lot of debate in the office.
Oh yeah, it's been really interesting. A lot of debate with no system in the building, which is always fascinating. But we've got Mario Kart 8 coming out later this month for the Switch. We've talked about Zelda in episode 1 and a little bit in episode 2. And I really like this because you mostly formulated this message of can Nintendo keep the momentum going for a successful era for the Switch?
Yeah.
Nintendo, Mario Kart 8, a remaster essentially with DLC, 16 new tracks, whatever, over bullet points. But I'm curious to hear what you think because you kind of posed this question to us.
Okay, look. The reason why I was thinking about this so much is because on previous episodes we've talked a lot about the Vita and how Vita as a handheld was absolutely perfect in terms of hardware, in terms of looks, in terms of
initial software.
Initial software, yeah, and in terms of how well it could produce the outlook of games that was produced on the PlayStation Vita. But can Nintendo Switch really keep doing it? Are they releasing AAA games and giving us member berries? Are they giving us games that everybody loves in general to keep the Switch afloat, or is this a revelation?
I don't know. I think they're trying to go for a pretty good balance at this moment in time. I mean, they've come out with the Zelda that cures cancer a month ago. They've got the rehash of Mario Kart 8 with all the DLC.
They fixed a lot of things
and
in Mario Kart.
Yeah, they fixed a lot of things. I think that's pretty
battle
cool.
mode now. There's the battle mode which came back.
Of course. Yeah. They fixed a few exploits, which is pretty cool. But yeah, I don't know how much.
Do you think the Switch is gonna last? I want to ask you this. Do you think the Switch is gonna last? Because I've already spoken outwardly about I don't want a Switch for one game. But I want to say now that I want a Switch simply because of the games that are coming out. But when I have a Switch and I play Zelda, when I put all those hours into Zelda, I'm gonna be like, oh, this is so awesome. And that's when I play Mario Kart, and then I'm gonna play 4 months of Mario Kart. Will I have the Switch?
Well, you can
be like, what the fuck do I have this for?
But you're gonna get. Well, we were talking about this earlier today, but you said you're not into Splatoon, but that's you. There's other people who are very much into that game. The Splatoon 2 that's coming out. Since day one, I've been really interested in that game. I think it's a really interesting take on.
Are they giving us enough?
Well, yeah, we'll wait. Well, wait for reviews. Wait for reviews. It is what it is. No one can tell you. Was Uncharted 4 enough? Was The Witcher 3 enough? No one can tell you until the game is out. You know what I mean? So you gotta wait. And then we got Super Mario Odyssey during Christmas time as well. So you could be looking at a library of like 4 solid games, and then you throw in the extras like Bomberman, and you throw in the indies and everything, those kind of things that are coming out as well. They're dated to PS4, PC, Xbox as well. Yeah. So that's pretty cool. But my thing is, you know what? It's fascinating because I genuinely have no clue. I have no clue how this thing is gonna hold. Mind you, we're recording this just as the NPD results, which is the charts for North America specifically, came out last night. And the top-selling hardware, as you would expect for March, was the Nintendo Switch. Because it's new hardware, it's new Nintendo hardware. It was top of the line. Second place PS4.
So about 906,000.
906K for the
March.
But that's specifically for Zelda.
Yeah. No. As in, they sold 906.
Oh, okay.
They sold 906,000 Switch consoles.
Switches, yeah.
Zelda sold about 1.2, 1.3, which is really weird. Which is really weird that they sold.
Wii U.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Wii U. Wii U.
Yeah.
People own Wii U's, Patrick. People still own that dead ass system.
I don't know why they still have a Wii U.
People will promise Zelda on a Wii U in like 2014.
Why
and
do you have a Wii U?
What? You promised me a Zelda on a Wii U system.
What do people play on a Wii U?
They're playing Zelda.
Apart from
They're playing Mario Kart. They're playing every game that's available on Switch. But anyway, so that's how that works. But I mean, Zelda charted like above Horizon, combined with the Wii U. I mean, it's above Horizon, it's above Mass Effect, only behind to Ghost Recon. So, you see, the thirst is my point. But my issue is how long that thirst.
How long will it last for?
Especially because Zelda is like a once in a generation type of game. I don't know if any other type of game in that sense can sustain the momentum that the Switch has. Because people will finish Zelda within a month or 2 months and then they'll be asking what's next. Mario Kart 8, sure, cool. But it's an old game.
I mean, it always brings up this argument of our handheld games slowly dying. Are we holding on to something? And
I included that as well. So
How
if you could just run through that.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking about this recently, and I was thinking if the PlayStation Vita can come out and it releases so many good games, and this is an epic piece of hardware and software, and it's still dying. And Switch comes out and they release Zelda, which Zelda has got this epic proportion of die-hard fans. And this game sells like shit.
1-to-1. It's like GTA 5. Everybody who buys a PS4 buys GTA 5.
Exactly.
Everybody who buys an Xbox One buys GTA 5.
Exactly. And oh my god, this is selling, and it's absolutely phenomenal. But can it continue doing this? Are handheld devices slowly dying out, and people in Japan, and people in Japan mostly look to mobile gaming, and in the US, the Vita totally struggled. We all know that.
It did garbage.
It really struggled in the US.
Garbage.
Fact of the matter is that will the Switch continue this, or are they using the names of old games to kind of keep them in the loop?
Well, I mean, they were gonna do that regardless.
Because the Nintendo Switch is kind of... It feels cheap. Even when you hold it, it feels... It's a piece of plastic.
Well, Patrick, come on. How can you say it feels cheap?
It feels like a piece of plastic.
Come on.
It feels like a piece of plastic.
Come on, Patrick. You have
will this device... All I'm asking is that will this
another
device...
question.
Yeah. Will this device hold on to its name in longevity? How does it feel in the long term?
I mean, for me, at the end of the day, video game consoles always come down to software. You put games on something that are awesome and people like and that are fun, then the thing tends to usually sell okay. You space out, even
for a period of time.
Though Nintendo games are 10 out of 10 almost every time they come out, you can't stretch people out long enough. You can't tell someone to wait 8-9 months for another 10 out of 10. It's not practical.
So there won't be AAA games.
My thing is it depends on their software pipeline. We see how it unfolds, especially after Mario, and then anyway we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, but anyway, look, I just hope that the Switch keeps it up in terms of AAA gaming simply on the handheld device itself. I'll be very impressed if they keep that up. Other than that, I want a Switch. I want it, but how long will I have it before it starts collecting dust?
Well, look, Patrick, most of your devices collect dust, so I don't think that's saying much. Anyway, so that's Mario Kart, that's the Switch, what we think is going to happen in the near to medium term. I'd like to move on to our final news story of the week. This is something that I am like I'm super excited about. What's funny is we didn't even talk about this earlier today when we were having a chat. Is Star Wars Battlefront 2 has officially been announced by DICE and EA. This is the new Star Wars Battlefront game coming out. The first game came out in 2015. It was multiplayer only that focused on the original trilogy. So I'm talking about what was the first? I'm having a meltdown. What was the first Star Wars movie? A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi. Focused on that era. It was mostly multiplayer. There was a bit of split screen action. The game came out. A lot of people were disappointed, especially considering the heritage that Battlefront itself had. I mean, EA were taking it on as a new thing. I mean, visually spectacular. I don't think there's ever been any Star Wars game that has looked like that. But the game didn't have legs, it didn't have depth, it didn't have the right mechanics that could get players engaged over a long time. It had a goddamn season pass, which pisses me off, where you had to buy in and pay for extra DLC. But now we've got Star Wars Battlefront 2, which, just to quickly put off a few bullet points before I get your opinion on it. It's going to come out November 17th. It's going to have a single player campaign, my favorite part of this, which is going to focus on being an Imperial fighter called Iden Versio, who's a female. She also looks darker skinned, which is like all for diversity and stuff, which is cool. But you're following this Imperial trooper in between Return of the Jedi and Force Awakens, and you're seeing that 30-year, you're living that 30-year gap because you're seeing the Death Star blow up to how the new what's the new Empire called? The new Order, is it? What is it called? In Force Awakens, basically the new Empire. Is it the New Order? That's what it bugged me actually. Anyway, it's gonna focus on how you search that, how that builds up. So that's gonna be a big single player campaign. We're gonna get to play as well as players like Kylo Ren. We're gonna have segments where we play as Luke Skywalker against the Empire. So I'm really interested in how they're gonna tie that in. And there's talk about making a few interesting narrative decisions that split the story in certain points. I think that's really cool. And of course, we're gonna have the entire multiplayer suite, which is 40 players, 20 on one side, 20 on the other. I thought in Battlefront 1, that was incredible. Walker Assault on Hoth, bringing down 2 walkers. You're the rebels and you're trying to bring those walkers down, and you're just getting those A-wings to like loop around them and tie their legs. Super cool.
Darth Maul. I saw Darth Maul.
Darth Maul, yeah. The thing I should just point out really quickly, thank you for bringing that up, is we're going to have all eras. So we're going to have the prequels, we're going to have the original trilogy, and we're also going to have the current.
So we're
going to have Force Awakens, Rogue One, and we're going to have Last Jedi.
Yeah.
So I think they're going for a more cohesive look at the Star Wars universe, because that's the thing with the first game. It was pretty shallow in terms of
focusing. I only played a few hours of the first Star Wars Battlefront.
I think we even played it
together. Yeah, we played it together.
Yeah,
we played it together, and I only played the first one for a few hours, like online.
Stuff.
Yeah, and I played a few online games as well. And I kind of liked it, but then I didn't feel that it was worth to get. And I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I'm a huge Star Wars fan. But then I didn't feel that it was worth purchasing. And I know that's criminal to say, but this one feels a little bit more must get. I think that I want to get this one. I feel that this game is. I think I'm gonna get this one. The first one, I kind of let it pass because simply I was enjoying the online aspect a little bit more, the aspect of getting into a starship and
because it was really a bit of a problem, because the first game was like it's so arcadey and so mainstream in terms of you picked up tokens.
I enjoyed it, but didn't love it. I enjoyed it, but didn't love it.
So you picked up the TIE fighter, you picked up the A-wing. They weren't just ships there; they were actual tokens that you got, and it was weird because you just transitioned into a ship, and even the ship controls were pretty simple.
Yeah, they were.
Accelerate, boost. left stick, fire off your few guns on the right stick,
and to be fair, it felt like when you were in a gunfight, it felt a little bit haphazard. Like it felt like I had no tactics involved when I was in a gunfight.
Oh, there were absolutely no tactics.
It didn't feel like Battlefield 1.
No,
you know when you're playing Battlefield 1 and you're terrified and you have to think about something before you infiltrate someone, or you're gonna use one of your teammates, and you're like, all right, bruh, let's go into here. But then Star Wars kind of felt that I was just going in there to shoot them up.
And you're just a stormtrooper, or you're a rebel member, and
and then when you get shot, you're like, oh well, let me get back into there. So essentially, Star Wars felt to me as I am a guy in a stormtrooper outfit, dying continuously. That's what it felt like to
Battlefront.
Me. Yeah.
Well,
that's what it felt to me.
Patrick, again, you're talking about the multiplayer.
The multiplayer.
It is what it is, man. It's multiplayer. Of course, it's faceless.
Of course, but there were no tactics involved. I mean, you can say that. You can say that multiplayer. Yes, you do die a lot.
Oh yeah,
and I respect.
You're gonna be even in Battlefront 2. I'm expecting to be sniped across the map. You know what I mean? Where I like respawn, and it's not fun. Everybody hates that. Spawn, get sniped across the map, respawn, that kind of thing.
Is it too much to ask sometimes where, can I ask for a little bit of tactical awareness? When
I don't think that's wrong to ask for, no.
I don't want to just be walking across the field with my guys and then I just get sniped and like, okay, we have to start from this side now.
See, the thing is now, because they're going into the other eras, they're doing the prequel eras, they're doing Force Awakens, they're doing Last Jedi, so I hope they really take on those new planets, turn them into really interesting maps that work in a cooperative sense. That work in the sense that, okay, you can squad up with a few of your friends and make teamwork work. Where you're that one stormtrooper that has literally made a difference because you have helped to push the line forward to blow up this rebel base, or plant a bomb, or do whatever it is, you know what I mean? Shut down this radio station.
Okay, let me ask you this question. Do you think that they should take any advice from certain multiplayer games? Or should they just go with their own flow? Is there any multiplayer game that comes to mind?
I think they should look at Titanfall in terms of the model, with especially to do with season passes and cosmetics, because this game, we should point out, does not have a season pass. So you do not have to buy the fucking $100 version of a game to get the future DLC and maps and stuff that are going to come out. It's all going to be free. Now, my fear is the microtransaction loot system, because, for example, I hate Overwatch's loot system. I think it's predatory. My opinion. Other people like
Can I even say a statement from EA?
Okay, go ahead.
I cannot talk about the specifics of this. But we have something different in mind that would allow you to play longer, be more invested in the game without having a fragmented community. Talk about the season pass.
Yeah, okay, so fragmented community, they want to avoid that. Perfect. 110% in that, because we're going to all get the maps together, we're going to get all the guns together, we're going to get all the weapons, new characters together. But at the same time, I'm worried about the loot system, like, there's so much wiggle room for them to nickel and dime you, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
$3 a loot box. All you get is some shitty skins for a trooper. Or
the character who looks nice, but can't do anything differently.
Be very wary is what my advice would be. Be very wary of what EA...
So maybe getting some ideas from Titanfall. And maybe
because Titanfall is beautiful because everything's free. New maps, new Titans, new equipment, and level extensions, those are all free. The only thing that you pay for in Titanfall is literally just skins. And those skins are really, they're cool, but they're skins. I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? And they're the way they've modeled their pricing structure is really cool, because I think it's about you can pay for skins you like specifically. So like, oh, I like this skin on my Titan. I can pay, for example.
Are they different prices?
Yeah, I can pay 50p for my skin. Exactly. Whereas Overwatch does it in the sense that you can never pay for the skin you like. You have to keep gambling. Every time you have to keep rolling the dice. Let that loot box shake in your face and see what you get. But Titanfall did it in a really cool way. They're like, okay, you can get the loot box, you can choose.
You know what you're getting for the amount of money that you're paying.
Now take a guess which EA is gonna pick. Come on, it's obvious. It's almost so obvious.
They're gonna gamble.
They're gonna make you gamble, and it's predatory. And I really, you know what? This even it's funny. This comes up because I really want to even have a talk about this because I think a lot of these loot box systems that are coming into these multiplayer games are predatory, and they're coming in on these young kids. Exactly, you get a young kid. He's essentially playing poker, you know, and he's paying like £3 or $3 for a shake of the dice to
and
get
like, fuck it, let me get another one.
Yeah,
let me get another one.
And he's using his parents' credit card, or even someone who's got their own card. I mean, I have a lot of problems with it, and I think it's a deeper dive topic that maybe we shouldn't get into right now. But at the end of the day, we'll see what EA will do.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So we'll see. But I will say this: I'm very hyped for Star Wars Battlefront 2. I
like the idea.
I love Star Wars.
I like the idea of using Darth
I really like the first game. So I want to be Darth Maul. I want to be Kylo Ren. I want to be Luke. I want to be Han.
Flips with
exactly. That's cool, man. Yeah. So we'll see what happens with that. I think we'll get a good deep dive during E3, which will be very interesting because we're gonna have E3 for us is gonna be crazy. I mean, I don't think we're gonna get any sleep. But yeah, we'll see what happens then, and then we'll move forward. Yeah. So after wrapping up all of that news, Patrick, I think we're gonna move on to topic of the week. Tots. So
the exciting part.
You came up with this topic this week, which I thought was pretty interesting. But the topic of the week is doing a deep dive into Horizon Zero Dawn and the new age battle systems that are developing for Western RPGs, especially. We can include Japanese RPGs.
We can include them because they are involving themselves in the element of the Western type. Video gaming.
Yeah, and then from there, I really like this convo because you came up with it, and then from there we can jump into our experiences with Horizon because you've started playing it, and what we love most about Horizon and how Guerrilla can use the franchise to shoot them up in terms of the upper echelons of developers. So. Let's go, man. Like, let's kick this thing off, man. Like, you tell me what have you felt when you got into Horizon's battles? You got the controller in your hand. You've got to take down several different robotic beasts and creatures. What do you think?
Look, Horizon, first of all, looked fantastic. That's the first thing that you notice about
I've been
this
saying
game.
that a lot.
As soon as you boot it up, you're like, this game looks absolutely amazing. And as you go through the game, I had this feeling of I'm just gonna be using my arrow to kind of shoot my way through this game. But as you start fighting different dinosaurs, obviously everybody should know by now that you're fighting more robotic dinosaurs and everything.
And general creatures.
Yeah, creatures. Yeah, robotic creatures.
And there's a very good story reason for all of this.
Of course. And when you're first playing it, you're like, okay, I'm gonna use my arrows. I'm gonna try and just dodge my way through it. But once you spend maybe 4 or 5 hours into it, and then you meet these different type of creatures that you're fighting against, you come to a place of realization that there's a serious you need a certain level of tactical awareness when going through these monsters, and you need awareness in the sense that you cannot just fight your way through it arrow blazing. I was gonna say guns blazing, but arrow blazing. You need guns blazing. Yeah. You need a certain level of it's absolutely fantastic in the sense that you destroy certain monsters in destroying certain parts. Are you gonna set traps? Horizon is the next generation of RPGs that I think that people should be taking on in terms of battle systems.
I think it's a very good type of monster hunter to a certain level.
It is.
I think it does really well.
RPG. Are we what I was asking myself even when I was playing it? Are we expecting a certain level of attention to detail when it comes to battle systems in RPGs? Because Guerrilla seem to have raised the bar.
Paid attention. And the fun fact from that is they said they developed their whole battle system. This was in a little bit of an interview that came out, I think, last week, with it was the director of Guerrilla Games, Herman Holst. He sat down and had a 20-minute conversation with Neil Druckmann. He's a Bully Dog.
He's the creative director
and Last of Us, creative director. But what was cool was the Herman said from Guerrilla, he's like, to develop our battle system, we developed the Thunderjaw over about a year and a half, and with the Thunderjaw, that's how we built our mechanics. So it took them almost 18 months to develop their actual gameplay mechanics, and they used the one enemy and they were able to like extrapolate that to the 24 other robot creatures in the game. And I'm like, you spent a year and a half on a battle system, you know?
That's understandable because the Thunderjaw essentially is the most difficult creature to defeat in the world of
Rock Breakers. You were talking about the Rock Breakers.
We were talking about the Rock Breakers.
Fuck the Rock Breakers for the record. I hate Rock Breakers.
Thunderjaw, Rock Breakers. Rock Breakers are
that's
really
all other thing.
But Thunderjaw did have that high level of arsenal. It had the arsenal of weapons.
Suite of weapons. And the components that you can tear off and be strategic about and think, hey, because I think that ties into like, okay, I want to harvest this specific part, or you know, a certain type of canister or a certain type of metal and those kind of things. I think they made that work with the Thunderjaw's one entity really well.
It's refreshing. It's refreshing to get into a game that looks that good. And you have to use your mind and your tactics to defeat an enemy. Because look, essentially, when you're playing Horizon Zero Dawn, every enemy is dangerous if you don't do it correctly.
Yeah, totally.
When you meet a really difficult enemy, then you really have to use your brain on how am I gonna get around this. I can't just go in here and say I'm gonna defeat 3 Rock Breakers or a Thunderjaw.
You gotta have a plan.
You have to have a plan. You have to have a plan. Is this what we expect from RPGs essentially, or is this just a game company in itself raising the bar?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think it's like making a battle system for an RPG that's accessible to the masses. That's interesting because you're not using guns, you're using bow and arrow. But on top of that, you're adding a bit of a layer of depth that works as well with the levels, the difficulty scaling. So whatever difficulty you pick adds to the depth that you have to go within the mechanics to get the end result of defeating your enemies.
I admire the different elements that they involved in the game. Because, when you're playing Horizon and you're going through a stage where like, okay, this is just a fighting period. And then there are those areas where you have to investigate, and it has that element of Batman Arkham Knight.
Like the Batman games. Detective vision, sort of like figure out where you need to go.
It's a really good element where you have to follow certain, the side stories allow you to investigate into certain parts, and it allows you to explore different areas of the map. That's if you haven't explored the map already, but it allows you to investigate into certain areas using your focus. So I mean, there are many elements of the game that they took from other games and yet made it their own, especially when unlocking different areas of the map. When climbing the tall, what is it? Those tall necks. Exactly.
That's what I really like that element because it's using the Ubisoft concept of towers, reducing it, distilling it, making it something that's not so prevalent. You're not climbing 100 towers.
It's not in your face. It's not in your face.
Exactly. And on top of that, it's a puzzle because you have to work out the Tallneck's route and what's the best point to climb it to activate the signal that reveals part of the map. And the cool thing is, I mean, that game only has like 5 or 4 Tallnecks. I can't remember.
There's only 4.
There's only 4 or 5.
But when you see one, you're just like, all right, let me head in that direction.
And there's always some enemies in that next to that Tallneck or whatever that you have to take down. Like one of my favorites was a Tallneck that was going around a lake.
A lake,
and it's surrounded by snap moors, which are like
mouse.
crocodile robotic, robotic crocodiles basically. And there's like 4 or 5 of these snap moors that are around this island that has a cliff face that you can run up on and then use to jump onto the tall neck. And these tall necks are basically like giant walking radio towers, but they look like giraffes with giant discs as heads.
Is Ayla your favorite female protagonist?
For a long time, yes. Since Ellie, yes.
Since Ellie, right?
Since Ellie,
I was gonna say that Ellie was definitely gonna be my favorite.
Yeah, since Ellie, I would definitely put her up there as one of my favorites and stuff.
The determination, as in when you're controlling a character who's she doesn't have to be necessarily dynamic, but you have to connect to her in a certain way, and I connected with Aloy, and it was so good.
Yeah.
It felt so good controlling a character.
Yeah. Plus it's cool because the game works with you being an outcast, and Aloy has only lived in this one particular area of her tribe and her village. And as the story progresses, you get to go out and explore and see these new things. But the cool thing is when she sees these new things, you as a player seeing these new things. I think I said that on episode 2 and stuff. So that's really cool. So what I want to ask you as well, you brought this up, but how do you think Horizon is going to work out for Guerrilla? What do you think is the future of Guerrilla now that they've come out, new IP? They've not established themselves because they were established with the Killzone games, but they've really put a high marker. They're a top tier quality developer now. I put them on the same level as a Naughty Dog. I put them on the same level as they've almost embarrassed BioWare with Mass Effect. I'm talking about those kind of top tier RPG developers. What do you think is the future for them after this?
I think that Horizon
2 is happening.
Yeah, of course,
Yeah.
it has to happen.
Yeah.
Horizon is Guerrilla's ticket to the top. Yeah. So there are times when I'm playing Horizon and there are negatives that I do notice. There are times when I feel that I have to interact a little bit better with the environment. But fact of the matter is that this game was so good as a first IP that I know they're gonna improve on it.
Yeah.
First Horizon.
Yeah.
And Horizon is Guerrilla's ticket to being at Naughty Dog level. Because obviously I truly believe that Naughty Dog is the best developing company out there.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, one of the best.
The Uncharted series is absolutely fantastic. And then if you
if you don't like those games, you can appreciate what they're doing.
Dude, there is not... The Last of Us 2 isn't even out yet, and we already know what effect Last of Us had on our lives. You know what I mean? So if Horizon continue to improve on... correct me. If Guerrilla continue to improve on Horizon, then it could be their way of making their stance as one of the top developers. So there's not much to improve on, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't think that.
Not much. There's not much to improve on.
Story and flesh out
and a little bit more interaction in terms of environment and side quests. But not everybody expects you to create a Witcher 3
No,
first
absolutely not. You don't need to make another Witcher, please. Come on.
We've already spoken about how perfect The Witcher 3 was.
And The Witcher is really big. It's hard. It's not easy to make a Witcher.
The Witcher was an ongoing waterfall project, which meant that they made one, they knew their mistakes, and then they made two,
exactly.
and
That's
then
a good
they
point.
made three. Horizon nearly got it perfect.
On the first try.
Yeah. Exactly. So, Guerrilla, keep working on it.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where they go, and you guys should definitely check out my Let's Play. I did a little bit of a few combat encounters in Horizon. You guys should definitely check that out as well. Yeah. Alright, Patrick, that's topic of the week done. We're gonna move on to our final section about what you've been playing lately. I haven't been playing that much, so I'm just gonna chime in with the Horizon stuff.
Horizon.
Go ahead. You start. I haven't been playing much, so I'll let you kick off and just.
To be honest, I've only been playing 2 games. I've only been playing Horizon and Skyrim. I'm back in the Skyrim.
Okay, so let what do you want to start with, Skyrim or Horizon?
I'm gonna start with Skyrim simply
Yeah.
because I didn't think that I would get so deep into a game that I already spent over 200.
And it just every time I try to leave, they pull me back in.
As soon as I slipped the disc into my PS4, I was like, PK, you're not gonna spend. No, I actually told myself, I was like, hey, you're not gonna spend too much time on this. You're just gonna use this as a marshmallow game and you're gonna play it in your free time and you're not gonna really enjoy it. I am over 10 hours in.
Okay.
And it just feels
it feels
good. It feels good. It's like heroin. It's not that game. There are times where it feels like, why should I be playing this? Because it still feels like Skyrim. But when you continue playing it, you're like, I don't mind that it still feels like Skyrim. I don't know if that makes sense. I don't mind that it still feels like Skyrim.
It still feels like you're hitting air with your swords.
It does. And even and you know, it's very different when you come from playing Horizon, just like, okay, you're going through these
Horizon feels so tight.
Yeah, it feels tight. Yeah. And then when you go into playing Skyrim, you feel that I don't need to put as much effort into making my tactics while going through a battle. But then you still continue playing it. You still want to improve your skills, and I would still recommend it for someone to play it. I mean, I know, I know you haven't gone straight into Skyrim again, because I know you spend a lot of hours on Skyrim.
I don't have the time.
I know.
That's simple. I just don't have the time to go.
That's why I'm gonna campaign about a backlog year. Yeah, because do we really have the time for it?
Probably not.
Yeah.
So like, just tell me quickly, like, are you mostly doing side stuff, or are you just exploring, or are you doing going back main quest, or like,
you know the funny thing about Skyrim, when you're playing Skyrim again on PlayStation 4, is that you feel that you have this pompous attitude about going into any quest because you believe that you leveled up in the same essence that you played on, say, PC or PlayStation 3. But you have to remember that you are not at that level, and you have to take quests easygoing and level up, and then you can join the companions.
Yeah.
Then you can join the Dark Brotherhood. Then you can do, you know what I mean? It's humbling. It's humbling because I've died quite a few times. I don't know if that means that I'm a bad player. I don't know. I'm not saying that I'm the best player out there, but I consider myself as an average to pretty good player. You know what I mean? So when I died a few times, I was thinking, okay, let me level up a little bit, and that kind of drags you into the loophole of let me level up, let me get more equipment, and so I'm enjoying it. Surprisingly, I'm not happy about it, but it is my pastime.
You know, for me, the thing is, I remember just the way I loved Skyrim PS3. I got turned into a vampire. I was just doing my own shit, main quest. I went to bed one night. And then I woke up and I was a vampire. I went into the sun, I was steaming, then I had to get off a curse. And I was like, you know what? I'm about 100 hours in and I'm done. I remember putting the gamepad down, and because I went on a quest to stop, like, get a vampire cure or something. I was like, it turned into some long thing, and I was like, I never even finished the main quest.
But the fact is that when you're playing on PlayStation 4, it looks absolutely fantastic.
It looks really nice.
Really good.
It should at least, at the bare minimum, look a lot like the PC version.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
to a certain extent,
PC gamers are gonna argue, and I know Alan is there behind the camera, like, no. But I do understand that PC gamers do add a lot of mods. And the mods make it look absolutely fantastic.
But like, at least some console players are getting that now. So
yeah, exactly.
If you haven't played Skyrim before, or if you really want to play Skyrim for the first time now, it's a pretty good point to jump into the definitive edition on PS4 and Xbox One.
You're gonna enjoy it. It's gonna be good.
What else have you been playing, man?
Horizon. I don't want to get too deep into the story. We talked
about Horizon a little bit, so I guess we can kind of compound this.
I mean, all I want to say is that
great game.
It's the best RPG since The Witcher 3.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
It looks absolutely fantastic.
How many hours in are you?
I should be around 60, 50 hours.
No, what?
Yeah.
Are you serious? But like, you're not like that far into the side. Are you doing a lot of side? Like, are you exploring a lot? Because
I am at level 38 and I've done most of my sides. I've done most of my side quests.
Goddamn, Patrick!
Yeah, I told you I'd catch up with you. I told you I'd catch up with you.
I'm like level. I think I'm level 51. Because I've reached. No, I'm level 50, so I've reached level cap and everything. But if you're on 38, like, and considering what you told me where you're in the story, have you reached Meridian?
Yeah,
that's not a spoiler. Have you reached Meridian?
I have reached Meridian.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess it makes sense. Shit. Anyway.
Yeah.
Overall,
I have smoked it.
Level 38 in like 2 days.
Yeah, but it is the best game since it's the best RPG that I played since The Witcher 3. Yeah, and it looks fantastic. Amazing. Yeah.
Again,
I mean, all you guys are gonna see the Let's Play that this guy uploaded. So, what have you been playing?
Oh yeah, for me, Gravity Rush. Gravity Rush Horizon. I was gonna bounce off that with you, but I've been playing Gravity Rush a little bit because I've had quite a bit of time this week off work. So I've managed to get a bit more time into Gravity Rush. I've spoken about it on the pod earlier. Really fucking weird game. It seems to get crazier the more I go on. But
it doesn't feel like Gravity Rush 1.
It does, but it feels like Gravity Rush.
Because I've heard a lot of people talking about it.
It feels like Gravity Rush 1 with a few more mechanics tossed in and stuff and everything. Like lunar style.
They improve it.
Yeah, because like you get lunar style, which is of gravity, which is more airy and more floaty and more quick attacks. Okay. Then you get Jupiter style, which is more heavy and you fly slower, for example, and you do heavy attacks. Really cool. So I've been playing Gravity Rush, but mostly side quests because Kat is adorable. She just wants to help everybody out in the whatever city she's in. So I've been doing a lot of the side quests.
How many hours are you into Gravity Rush?
Gravity Rush, man, I don't know. I'm guessing at least about 30, 35,
maybe.
Okay. About. It's a pretty long game. There's a lot of stuff to do. And I can't stop taking pictures because it has an inbuilt photo mode. So I just keep taking tons of pictures. Absolutely love Gravity Rush. I want to get my thoughts into a bit more of a cohesive package once I finish it. Kind of like with Horizon, which I'm at now because I've completed the game and I feel like I could have a better conversation with you about it. That's how I feel about Gravity Rush. Hopefully you guys like it. I'm interested in doing a Let's Play for it, though I don't know the enthusiasm for people out there, but I feel like it's just a random PS4 game, which I'm
I mean,
really
if you love
into.
it, I think that you should do it.
Yeah, well, I mean, if it gets a view.
If there's that one person who's just like, it's f***ing awesome, then you're like, alright, then I've done my job, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you guys check out Gravity Rush for yourselves. I mean, I want to get some footage up for you as well. And on top of that, just to button this conversation up, I played a lot of Pro Evo. I've sunk so much time into
Tell
Pro
the
Evolution Soccer.
world about how Pro Evo is better than FIFA.
This is to everybody who's watching this who loves FIFA. Guys, why are you still playing FIFA? Get on Pro Evo 17.
Shame.
What a beautiful simulation of football. What I'm doing right now is I'm playing Master League. So that's where you get put in, like, you pick a team, you get put in the lowest division. You can choose to either start with a squad of players from your exact football team that you pick. For example, Arsenal, you start off with those players, or you can pick Arsenal and start off with a squad of like ruffians and whippersnappers and hooligans, and you gotta shape them up into like.
Wenger outs like Flash. Like
no, I'm the manager. You get to make your own manager, and I'm like dreadlocked out. I wear glasses like yours, and I'm screaming from the sidelines.
You got the Hideo glasses.
Oh man, yeah, exactly. So I started off with like the box standard team they give you that you have to work with and mold into a beautiful attacking team, and that's gonna take you up divisions and everything. So I've been playing that quite a bit.
How difficult is it to score in?
It's actually really scoring in Pro Evo is much more rewarding than scoring in FIFA. I'm a shit FIFA player, so take that with a grain of salt. So I feel more rewarded when I score in Pro Evo, but I mean, it's just such a much better representation of football than it's so good to come back to Pro Evo from FIFA. Because I mean, even headers, you have to time your headers, you have to put the right power in headers. Every player, like I was saying, I think it was episode 2, episode 1, every player is literally molded after how they play in real life. Walcott has the same shitty first touch.
Yeah,
He's
because he
nippy
can't
as
cross.
fuck. Ronaldo is the speed demon. Messi has insane close control. Santi has insane close control. For example, I played against Newcastle the other day. Sissoko is an absolute powerhouse because I'm using not the super updated versions of the teams, but Sissoko, I mean, he absolutely barges through the middle. Taking him down is a bitch. You have to press circle to bring in second defensive pressure and have someone like, because you need 2 guys to take him on. I mean, it's so good. It annoys the shit out of me because I'm not good at most of it.
But it's the realism that brings.
Yeah, the realism that I like, and it's just the right pace as well. FIFA's too fast for me now.
Arcade.
It's arcadey as shit. I can't do that. So I like the slow pace. I like the build up. I like making tactical decisions has a tangible effect on the field. Not just where you go with FIFA and like, oh yeah, I'm gonna play, for example, 3-5-2 or something, and you've got the whole midfield flooding the top half of your opponent's box. It's way more strategic. So I'm about a month and a half, 2 months into my Master League.
Okay.
So I'm still, getting to terms with it because I haven't played Pro Evo for a couple of years. But I'm having fun, and weirdly enough, it's sucking me away from Gravity Rush and Diablo 3, which I talked about in episode 1. I'm meant to be playing Diablo. So yeah, guys, spread your wings. Try Pro Evo. You don't have to play FIFA all the time. I have nothing against FIFA. I'm just like, FIFA is cool, but like so that's kind of like been it for me.
Okay.
I don't know if
so we've got a good variety of games that we're playing that at the moment.
Yeah, it'll be cool to do it, like for example, let's play with Pro Evo or something like on camera and just have a tournament or a couple of rounds, face-offs and stuff like that.
Yeah, and also get views from our fans, from our viewers to tell us what they're playing between Pro Evo and.
As always, PK, you're right to say that you guys always come on. Let us know what you guys are playing right now. Give us suggestions of what we should be playing. I know there was some dude who earlier, I think it was episode 2, is like, I want to come on and talk about Need for Speed. I was like, okay, it hasn't been out.
If you really want,
the last Need for Speed came out 3-4 years ago, but
if you want to talk about it, then sure.
But we laughed about it, and like we always appreciate you guys' feedback and everything. So it'd be really cool if you, let us know what you guys are playing as well. But ultimately, I think that's pretty much all that we've been playing, and I think we should probably be looking at wrapping up right now. I think we've covered most of everything.
So that's about everything. Everybody should just let us know what you're playing and what you think we should be playing, and just give us as much feedback as possible because we appreciate it.
We always appreciate the feedback. If you want PK to cut his beard, tell us. It's not a problem.
It's not gonna happen.
I think Patrick, we're really like reaching the end there. I think we've had another good episode. Once again, I'd like to thank everybody for watching. You guys have been so positive. You guys have been so good supporting us, especially with the first few episodes. Me and PK have been like surprised by the numbers that you guys are tuning in.
We feed off you.
Yeah, it's been unreal. So once again, thank you so much for you guys for tuning in. As usual, please let other people know about this podcast. Share with your friends. If you don't want to do that, that's fine. Just hit that like button. We can subscribe as always to NeoNova Technologies. Keep an eye out. We're gonna have my Horizon Zero Dawn Let's Play. We're gonna have the next episode obviously coming next week. PK, you've got some work to do, uploading a couple Let's Plays as well. Yeah. That's gonna be coming through. So just like I said, thanks guys for tuning in. As usual, I gotta thank Michael, Alan, and Ibs. These guys do all the work behind the camera. We're just the faces, but these guys put a lot of work.
Faces.
Yeah. Me? You? Me? These guys do so much work behind the cameras. It's always amazing that the work they do, the way they support us. So we gotta give a big shout out to them. Thank you so much. Guys, get in touch with us. Let us know how you love the podcast. Let us know what kind of, let us know your feedback. We've had feedback already in terms of lighting and stuff like that. We're trying to work on that. Because episode 2, you had a weird red tinge.
Yeah.
Even
You're
me.
looking a little bit
No,
oily.
man.
You're looking a bit oily.
Well, no.
Yeah.
The red tinge because we have red curtains. We had red curtains on the side. So episode 2, we looked so red that it was weird.
Exactly.
So we're trying to, iron those kind of things out, and just make everything work. But so thanks for that kind of feedback. We always appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. As usual, you can find PK at pato_kafu on Twitter. You can find me. I'm Ole_Gunner. Hit me up right there. Give us both a follow. You can find InCntrl Gaming at InCntrlGamingZm on Twitter. Search that. You're probably gonna find it. I'm pretty sure I got that right.
Yeah.
Just make sure you check that out as well because they give all the updates of when they're dropping stuff.
All
and
your gaming news.
Put up new stuff. So guys, as usual, thank you so much for tuning in. And I think that is us.
That's about
pretty much done. Thank you so much, Patrick. Any final words?
Peace out. I love you. Click subscribe.
That's Patrick. Please do click. I was going to say crick.
Yeah, that's how we pronounce click in Z.
From your township. Yes,
that's from you.
So guys, come on. I'm trying to be professional here. So guys, once again, thank you so much.
Alright,
Click subscribe, get through to us, follow us on Twitter. We thank you so much for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed episode 4 of the InCntrl Gaming Podcast.
Yeah.
We will see you again on the next episode. Keep an eye out for all of our stuff, and we appreciate it. Thank you very much. We'll
Peace
see
and
you
love.
guys next time. Thank you.